This is Amy Chan from CakeDecoratingSchool.com, and if you like cake decorating, you're in the right place. If you're interested in these products, check the links in the description. ServSafe. In this video, we are talking about the ServSafe Coursebook for food handlers. There's actually another class for managers. This one is the second edition. There are many more editions after this, so what's in it might vary a little bit, but the general topics and ideas should be the same. So I'm just going to flip through a little bit. You have several different units in here. The first one is about just sanitation in general, and they're going to talk about providing safe food and things like what an actual foodborne illness is. They're going to talk about the micro world, so microscopic organisms, so potential risks for foodborne illness, and cover all the different types and how spoilage happens and that kind of stuff. So really informational, especially if you don't have a strong background in biology, right? Then they're going to talk about things like contamination, food allergies, and foodborne illnesses. So just a lot of general information at first. And then let's go on a little bit and talk about safe food handling, right? So what you need to do on the job. So this is a very useful course book for people who are going to be working in the restaurant industry, whether you're in the front of the house or the back of the house. It's good for all employees to have this kind of basic knowledge. And you can see the chapters are broken down so that there's kind of like a little mini quiz to assess your knowledge at the beginning. There's a bunch of key terms and your learning objectives. And then it goes into the individual explanations and tries to really highlight key points. There's always a lot of great pictures and diagrams, which is one thing I enjoyed, especially when we get into some of the stuff like equipment that people may not have seen before. And then if we flipped towards the end, there'll always be things like multiple choice questions. In some cases, when you get into later chapters where they're talking about the actual different types of foodborne illnesses, there are even things like case studies where they're talking about food being improperly handled and what it is in various conditions, and trying to assess your skills to see if you can identify what's gone wrong and why. So it's actually a very useful course book in that it provides a lot of real life scenarios in which things have not gone optimally, right? And how that can cause illness and what the results are. And there's also a lot of additional resources. In any of the chapters, you'll see things like they're giving you information to look for from like the CDC, the FDA, various organizations, and just other companies that provide additional information if you're looking for more information on various topics. So it's actually a good resource as well when you get into your career after culinary school. Or after taking a course like this, because it gives you a nice reference guide for various organizations that can help you learn more about different kinds of illnesses and different things about food handling, equipment, sanitation, pest control, all those kinds of things. So you go into further units and we're talking about things like your purchasing and receiving, so how you're going to handle deliveries, how you're handling things like storage of food, protection of food during preparation. So think about like, the amount of time things can sit out, the temperatures that things need to be at. So it's a really in-depth course about food handling. So protection during food service. So we're talking about, like hot holding equipment, cold holding equipment, food bars, sneeze guards, all those kinds of fun things, right? And then it also goes over the principles of HACCP as well, which is really, really important if you're going to be working in the food industry. And then we're talking about things like sanitary facilities and equipment. So it's going over the general aspects of things like the ADA, and various organizations like Underwriters Laboratories. It's talking about equipment that people might not have come into contact with if you're just starting your career, like blast chillers, tumble chillers, all sorts of things like that, and talking some about equipment. There's lots of great diagrams in these sections too about setting things up. So if you're setting up a business, if you're setting up a kitchen, if you're thinking about things like how you're going to lay out your cold storage, whether it's a walk-in fridge or freezer, how you're going to set up your hand washing stations. There's a lot of good materials in here. And then it also covers things like cleaning and sanitizing, integrated pest management, which isn't always the first thing that people think about, but is really, really important. And then also covers food safety regulations and standards. So there's a lot of references here for the Department of Agriculture, the FDA, public health organizations, and that kind of stuff. And then it also talks some about employee training. And in the back, there's various indexes. So you have answers for your quizzes, and also, let's see if I can get to them, additional resources that cover various topics. So overall, it's a really nice course book. There's a lot of tables and stuff like that about refrigeration, food storage, temps for foods, etc. And then there's a glossary and an index in the back as well. So it's a pretty comprehensive course book. And it's just something that is great for everyone to have on hand. At some point, I'll probably buy myself a new edition and go through it again, just because it's always good to brush up on your food safety and food handling. If you enjoyed this video and you'd like more about the cake decorating materials and equipment we use, or just some inspirational videos about cake decorating itself, you can follow us on Insta or YouTube at Cake Decorating School. If you'd like to know more about yearly membership and what it entails, you can go to www.cakedecoratingschool.com for more information. And if you're interested in these products, you can check the links in the description.